Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 6 Degrees of Feature Film podcast. I am Queen Elsa, also known as Brienne, also known as Miss Movies.
And I'm Anna, also known as StacyOHoward. You are the Elsa to my Anna. I feel like that's our genuine relationship.
Because we are sisters.
Cold and aloof.
What?
And ridiculous and dorky, but adorable redhead. That is our lives.
Yes, that's right.
These are the days of our lives.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
All right, so today we have special guests. So exciting.
Yay!
From Kinda Funny, we have Tim Gettys.
Let Tim host. That is I. If you don't know me, I'm from a little website called kindafunny.com. We talk about a lot of nerdy stuff, video games, movies, and all this. I like to think of myself as kind of, Elsa in the streets and an Anna in the sheets.
What?
Oh, nice.
It's a fun time.
I'm trying to pull up the chat while we get this going, but for some reason it is not working. So I will get that up eventually because my skills are sometimes working, but not right now.
Your skills always work. You're always skillful, full of skill.
Full of the skills.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You'll get the chat up eventually.
Here we go. Totally fine. It's coming right now.
Oh, there we go.
Yes, we do have some accoutrement for this show, and
Yes.
that's mainly because I have kids, and so they like lots of things that have to do with Frozen. They like the set design. That's right. Okay, there we go. I've got it now.
Perfect.
Guess what, everyone?
We're up and running.
I can
We're
see
going. We're going.
all you guys if you are in the chat. Hooray.
Hello,
Hooray.
I did it. So today we are going to be talking about Frozen. That's why I have this Frozen poster as well as some other art that I got from Disney. So when you are an annual pass holder at Disneyland, they will send you gifts randomly. And a lot of those gifts have to do with art. So I have 2 pieces of art that they have done, which is like postcards. And then if you go to the Disneyland Hotel or if you go to any of the ones that they own and you tell them your favorite character, they will usually give you a picture of a different character that is signed by them.
We have a whole bunch of extra goofies.
That's right. So I let them know, hey, Elsa's awesome. And then they gave me like the cast photo of all the Mickey, Minnie, Donald,
That's awesome.
Goofy.
The art that you have above Stacy there, those 2 things were actually done for the 60th anniversary soundtracks that they did for all of the CDs.
That's right.
I own them all, and I'm a big fan.
Tim is a big fan of Disney.
I'm a little weird. I'm one of those grown-ups that never grew up. As if you know me, you know that well. And if you don't know me, I'm sorry. Nice to meet you.
Don't ever grow up, Peter Pan. You stay in Neverland with us forever, okay? You can fly. 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 Fly.
So for those of you that don't know who Stacy and I are, this is our show. It's called 6 Degrees of Feature Film. Hello. Hi. Glad you are here. Here's how the show works. We take one film and we show how 6 other films link up to that film in a reverse bracket sort of sense. And we do some random links. Well, I don't even remember one from last week, but we've definitely had one where it was like movies with horses in them.
Yeah. Like movies that aren't about horses, but with a horse.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Seabiscuit wouldn't work.
Because it's about a horse.
It's debatable. I mean, actually, I guess it is about the horse.
So then
I thought it was Tobey Maguire, but it's all good.
Dear John could have been one because there was a horse in Dear John.
Yeah.
Why I know these things, I'm not sure. I know Nicholas Sparks movies like you wouldn't believe.
Nicholas Sparks.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
The Notebook.
I don't know how I feel about that. I'm kind of judging you.
Okay. Well, A Walk to Remember. You're not into
that
with Mandy Moore?
I do love A Walk to Remember, though.
Okay.
I do love that. Nothing
Mandy Moore is
sexier than
great.
cancer and death.
When I was doing the 3 fictional characters exercise, I was thinking Mandy Moore from that movie, A Walk to Remember. And I was like, maybe people won't understand this.
Because you're dead inside? Like
Excuse you.
You
you are feisty today, Stacy.
I'm a little tired,
From Walk to Remember.
Oh,
God.
I don't remember.
I lay my head back down.
Wow.
Yes, I remember that song. Also, Mandy Moore's early work is her best work. Candy or whatever that song was. You know, I'm craving.
Yes, that was in
Oh,
center stage,
it
which we all
was
know.
when they were doing the stretches, and then they did like the high kicks, and one guy like kicks
Yep.
behind his head, like his leg goes like this. This is a good little pose for snapshot or whatever. Right
Yeah.
there. I just looked,
Screenshot.
like really weird there for a
Mhm.
second. Yeah, and it's in that, and they're just like kicking away to that song. I
Mhm.
remember that. Mandy Moore.
Nice.
God damn. Early 2000s Mandy Moore was the best Mandy Moore. I miss her. What is she doing?
Voiceovers. You know what? She's
Voiceovers.
in one of the films that we're going to talk about
She
today.
is.
So
She is.
let's get into it.
Okay.
Our feature film today is Frozen. Hooray. Yay for
Yay.
Frozen, because we haven't actually talked about Frozen on the show. Although we
We
have talked about, I went through the list of Disney films of which we have talked about, and it's pretty much all of the Disney catalog. Now, I'm getting a word from the chat, Tim, that you are a little soft on your side. So maybe we can turn you
Turning
back
me up.
to there.
I'm
We go.
officially-
That's excellent.
Officially up. Before we talk about Frozen, though, there's some breaking news that I don't know if you saw.
No.
Lion King.
Yes.
There's going to be a Lion King live action movie directed by John
Favreau. I'm so excited.
So that's fantastic. And it's going to be like in the style of the new Beauty and Beast movie they're doing, where it's like actually using the songs and stuff.
I love it.
So,
That's
Now,
nice.
knowing what I know about Tim, I am
Mhm.
going to guess that that's your favorite Disney movie, Tim.
no.
Ah!
What is
Definitely
it?
up there. Aladdin. You got to go Aladdin.
Okay. Aladdin. That's pretty
Oh,
great.
Aladdin.
pretty great.
Robin Williams. Come on. Mine's
don't-
Little
Out,
Mermaid.
Out,
Mhm.
out. Little Mermaid's great.
Ah.
I mean, I love them. I love
Mhm.
so many of them. So much. But yeah, Aladdin is just, it has that special something.
Mhm.
It does.
It's got a monkey in it. It's got vests.
I
it's
just,
got all
I
kinds of
hope they don't do it for live action, just because.
Aladdin?
live action.
Well,
Oh,
Robin
the
Williams
Robin
was
Williams.
so good that it's
Yeah,
just
you
like,
that's
who
true.
follows that up?
Can you, Kevin Hart.
Oh God.
The Rock. Oh my God. If they get The Rock,
The
I'm
Rock
in.
might
I am
work.
Ooh.
in.
The Rock
would work.
might work for Genie.
The
He
Rock
does
works
have- It would
for
be great.
literally anything. Like this new
That's
Jumanji
true.
movie is going to be the best thing of all.
It's gonna be great. And then he's doing Big Trouble in Little China too, right? So he's all over the. He's the remake king right
is.
now.
We
He's
got to
just the
get some more
king.
Scorpion King movies. Let's-
Oh
let's
God
have
damn
more
it!
of
You
those
know,
out.
I love the Scorpion King. Now,
Whew.
Tim, you don't know this, but I'm a
Uh-huh.
huge fan of the Mummy franchise. It is
Okay, good.
legitimately one of my favorite films.
Yes,
The
it
Mummy
pumps
from
through her
1999.
blood.
I will go on a
respect that.
tangent about it at every single episode. You guys should play a drinking game and see how
It's
long it takes
we're
me to
already
mention
talking
the
about
Mummy.
it now.
Already talking about
Yeah.
it. So, and for those of you who don't know, there are several Scorpion King movies. There's a
Mhm.
Scorpion King that The Rock was in. There's a Scorpion King 2, and then I think there's another one.
There's another one, but
There's another one.
I don't think The Rock's in that one though.
No.
No,
The
The
Rock
Rock
isn't in
is-
this. The Rock is not in the second one,
Yeah.
nor is he in the third one.
Yeah.
But he's
Yeah.
in the first one, and it's super, super cheesy, and it's like it.
We got to
I
go
love
back
it.
to those roots.
We gotta
where
go-
he started in
Yes.
cinema.
Yeah. Yes.
It's hot as hell. Is that whatever he's saying in a different language?
God.
yeah.
anyway,
From the
Yeah,
Mummy
there's no
Returns.
franchise that I'm obsessed with and bring up all the time featuring The Rock. But if there is one day, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good to
Great.
know.
Maybe it'll be
That's a joke. The Fast and the
Aladdin.
Furious.
Of course.
We're gonna have
right?
to have you on for. We're
We
gonna
have to do all 7 films.
Yeah, we have to do all 7 films
Before
and
the
then we'll have
next
you on
film
again.
comes out.
Yeah, and we'll do a live
Anytime.
watch with that, and you can watch along with us.
Time.
For
That's
sure.
actually how we how Kind of Funny blew up. The first million-view video on our channel was a thing Greg Miller called Fast Fest, where all he did was live stream himself watching all 7 or 6 at the time movies, or 5 at the time. It was preparing for 6, and
Wow.
yeah, million views
Now-
of people just watching him watch things.
So I'm
That's
sure
incredible.
he included in this the best Fast and Furious movie, which is Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Yes.
Obviously,
It is the best Fast and Furious movie. It's my favorite, mainly because
it's
it
my
has,
favorite. It's not the best,
it's my favorite.
but it is my favorite,
Those
and I
two
appreciate
things are
you showing
synonymous.
some love.
Yes, and it.
Anyway, I
does-
promised
it's
you that we wouldn't
underappreciated.
talk about Fast and Furious.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
sorry.
I just can't
Okay.
stop.
Well,
Sorry,
well, we're
so
supposed to
sorry.
be talking about Frozen. Guys, I
Well-
got to get this train back on the
Okay.
tracks.
Oh,
here.
dang it. See, I go off on a tangent and then everyone else follows
then
suit
that's
because they
it.
don't want to be as cool as me. I'm sorry.
This is
Back to
our
Frozen.
garbage truck on fire.
Okay.
They normally have their
shit.
garbage truck on fire. Here's
Okay.
ours.
All
It's a
right,
little
here's
it's a
ours.
little one.
Okay.
but, you
all
know.
right. It's a little it's like
There it
the
is.
pedal cart. It's a golf cart on fire.
This came out in 2013.
That long ago?
And I'm assuming that people have seen this, but basically there is a queen. She has these powers. She's trying to hide them, and then they emerge.
She lets it go.
Lets it go.
Oh shit!
And therefore, now there's an eternal winter, and people have to bring us back to summer. Bring back summer.
There's a whole
And I
song about
believe-
it and everything.
There's so many songs about it, and I'm so excited because this won Best Animated Feature as well as Best Song for Let It Go. And one of the people that wrote it, Robert Lopez, earned his EGOT when he won the Oscar for this.
Cool.
So I was like, yeah, you've got an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, a Tony. You are
Congrats.
incredible.
That is
Win the
a
awards, boy.
talented person. Very, very talented person.
I was like, if I could just get one of those,
Yeah.
that would be great.
Then I'd be
Just
down.
one.
Yeah.
Preferably Oscar, because then you get to make the cool speech and be in the tux and like be forever immortalized. Because you know they let everyone make those speeches at the Oscars. They say that they play the song and everything, but
Well,
they
of
don't like
course.
really do it that often. Even for like the sound editing guys, all of them go on for like 5 minutes about Croatia or something. So
Sure. You
Yeah.
got to have a platform.
you have to have a platform. Everyone does. Mine would be
Yes.
The Mummy. I would just, rally for.
Sure. You're not going to talk about your film. You're going to talk about someone else's.
No, I'm gonna talk about someone else's
The
for sure.
inspirations.
If I ever, legit,
know
if
what?
I ever won an Oscar, I would just go on and on about the movies I loved that year and be like, you should have won an Oscar. You should, like Oprah, just like, you get a
Yes.
statue. You get a statue.
But they don't actually. It's
Yeah,
I
they
just
do.
want to be
a
actually.
compliment.
Yeah.
I want to be mentioned in an Oscar speech. That's more what I would like because I did teach
Oh.
first grade and fourth grade,
Mhm.
so maybe someone from there could
We'll be
be
talented one
come.
day.
We'll
and they'll be
remember
like,
you.
"Thank you, Miss Crowley," which is not my name anymore. But
Is
you
that your
know,
maiden name?
that's
But
my
you would
maiden
I
name.
didn't know that.
I would
Whoa,
know. I would
revelations.
know.
That's all that matters.
I know.
I'd give a shout out to Mr. Fleming. Even right now, it's not the Oscars, but shout out to you, Mr. Fleming, my 7th grade English teacher. You were pretty dope.
I love
Nice,
it.
Nice. Cool.
So yeah, what else do we want to say? about
Well, hold
Frozen?
on, I do
'Cause
wanna
I feel like
say-
we've gone on so many tangents. We're already off.
I know. I
time.
do want to say though, and this is going to lead into the next movie, that both Idina Menzel and Kristen Bell auditioned for Tangled, didn't get
Right.
it, but from that, the Disney execs knew about them, and then that led them to kind of getting the role in
I
this
like it.
film, which
That makes
Which is
sense.
Frozen.
Like
yeah.
when you try out for something and then they like keep you in their mind for something else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Well,
totally.
Kristen Bell's fantastic.
Right.
Like
She
I
and
definitely
everything.
want to give her a shout out because before Frozen, I didn't know of her in any voiceover capacities. So I think she totally killed it and like gave a lot of character to Anna and was fantastic. I think Idina definitely has the more singer voice, so she kind of like felt like the older sister a lot, and I think that they both had a really good dynamic together, and it felt believable.
One of the trivia pieces that I read for this, and I was so angry by, is it said the most complex frame in the movie required over 132 hours to render, but they didn't tell us what frame that was. And I'm like, what frame is this?
It's gonna be something with a reflection in it, because you remember
Oh,
in
yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas that the most difficult shot was the reflection in the doorknob when he's turning
I thought it was just the act of turning the knob.
No, it's the reflection on the
Oh,
knob to
man.
reflect everything
Okay.
behind it.
So it must be
Might have been
ice
like, reflection of
castle
the
scene
ice.
because
Or
there's a lot of
Mhm.
reflections there. I'm going to assume
Yeah.
it's when she's doing the strut because that is just
Yes.
the best
Oh.
thing. And they're like, it didn't even
That
take
is
that
like
long
a-
to render. They're just like, I just want to watch this go as slowly as
Over
humanly
and
possible.
over again. Yes, it's like Jessica Rabbit walking down. I'm like,
It
who
is.
did that?
That came out of nowhere. There was just so much sass. I remember being in the theater just feeling like, get it, girl.
Yes. She like changes her dress and she has the slit. The slit is pretty high on that
Uh-huh.
dress. And then you can
It
see
is.
a flash
fan.
of thigh. Very into it. Very into it. Very turned on. I'm a little turned on, guys.
The other thing I like about this
I
movie
always am. That's how I live my
is-
life.
the other thing I like about this movie is all the theories that come out that connect the other
Incredible
movies together.
Mhm.
So for those
it.
that don't know,
Mhm.
there's the theory that the parents went on this 2-week voyage going to Rapunzel's coronation. Obviously, they didn't make it there, but their ship, the shipwreck, is the one that Ariel is scavenging through to find human treasures. So there's that.
That's
But
super
there's
cool.
also the other theory that they didn't make it, but they made it to shore. They conceived a child, and that child is Tarzan.
Yes. That one
Right?
was super crazy.
I believe it all. It's
Mhm.
all true. and that's what I want my reality to be, and
Yeah.
that is fantastic.
They
I love
planned
those
it
type of theories and
all
craziness.
out.
But in addition to that, then later in Frozen, at the end, you see Flynn and Rapunzel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming
the-
to
at
pay
the
their
dinner.
respects to Elsa since her parents died on the way over to the
Exactly.
coronation of Rapunzel.
Yes.
So it could be
Yes.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Could be true.
I'm gonna believe it to be true.
In our movie world, everything is true. There's no such thing as a fake fact.
Yes,
It's a real fact.
that's
We
right.
believe everything we put on here is true, and you never have to fact check us at all
Hashtag
because we're
fake
always
facts.
right. Hashtag fake facts.
Also, Tim? Have you seen the honest trailer for Frozen?
No.
Okay, you got to watch this.
It's
Okay.
great.
So Screen Junkies does honest trailers, and some of the things that I liked that they pointed out in their honest trailer are as follows. They talk about her powers. What are her powers exactly?
Yes.
Snow blasting, dressmaking, castle building, and creating life.
What?
That one,
Creating life?
they're like, that one's kind of glossed over.
Yeah,
she creates
that,
life.
She literally creates a creature with like a mind of its own and
Mhm.
like a soul, and it's a being, and I don't know how far that goes. She also
Mhm.
creates a snowman, which the snow monster and Olaf are apparently brothers,
Well,
and there's
if
a
you
whole
think
book
about it-
about that.
Yeah, they are.
There's like a kid's book about
Right.
the big evil
I'm
snowman.
sure I
Is
have it.
actually him and Olaf are brothers that actually get along, and
Mhm.
it's for like little
Yeah,
kiddos. but-
Marshmallow. and Olaf.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
They're
Marshmallow is his
buddies.
name.
They also call this the feature-length music video for Let It Go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Let's see. Oh, this is one of my favorite parts. They say Anna saves the day by teaming up with her sister, a merchant, a hot guy, and a snowman to defeat villains like her sister, a merchant, a hot guy, and a snowman. So thank you.
Perfect.
Totally
Thank you,
true.
honest trailers.
Thank you, our friend John Bailey, for voicing those honest trailers.
Yes,
'cause
thank you,
he's
John
great.
Bailey.
He got that voice though.
He does.
He's
He's got
incredible.
He's got that Transformers Walker,
He's
Christopher Walken
he's now
voice. Yeah,
Optimus Prime.
that's right. He is officially Optimus Prime and stuff.
We have had Optimus Prime on the show.
We have
What?
you guys. Autobots, roll out! I can't
That's
do it.
crazy.
I can't do.
Yeah,
the
he's a
Optimus Prime
big
voice.
Transformers fan. I'm also a really big Transformers fan, like in a weird way, where like I go to Transformers fan sites, like I have it saved in my bookmarks, Cybertron.
This doesn't surprise me.
And I check that way too much. And he used to be like a big deal on that site back in the day. And then he started doing the whole voiceover thing, and I'm like, this all makes sense.
Tim, you got to write the fan fiction crossover between Fast and Furious and Transformers.
Oh, trust. That's already
Whoa.
like that's like a dream of mine. Like that's the when they hit the point. Like I want a Fast and Furious Final Destination crossover
Okay.
to like end the franchise, where it's like they have a touch with death and they're just like, oh man, and one by one they're just getting taken out. It'd be fantastic.
That could be interesting. Can Devon Sawa be in it?
Mhm.
That'd be great.
Let's
And
Devin
it
Sawa
turns
should be
out-
in everything.
It turns out
should
that
be.
Hobbs is the Grim Reaper, and he's the one that's like killing them all off. You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Yep.
like it.
Into it,
Mhm.
into it.
All right.
Can't
So
kill The
let's
Rock in
close
a
it up
movie.
for Frozen, unless anyone has any final
Okay.
thoughts that they would like to say. Parting words.
I feel like people mistreat that movie because it was really annoying for a long time to hear the song over and over and over. But I stand by it's a good movie.
Mhm.
And
I saw it twice in theaters. My daughter saw it 4 times
I
in
saw it
theaters.
twice in theaters. And it was worth it both times. I judge a Disney movie based on if you can listen to its soundtrack and get the story without seeing anything. Frozen has some issues in the second to third act. If you do it that way, but I think overall it does. The beginning is really strong and the end's really strong, so I'll give it to it.
Okay.
Very good. Do you want some exposition?
Some
information
information
in
in
a
a song.
All right. So, anyways, sorry about that tangent. We are going to move on to Disney characters that are in isolation. So that's our link, and we are going to start. Let's start with Tangled, which
Okay.
came out November 24th, 2010. Now, people credit Frozen as being the movie that, like, oh, Disney movies are back. These are great songs. And I was like,
Mhm.
but Tangled had really good songs.
Yeah.
Why are we discounting Tangled?
Tangled's a better movie.
That's what
I'll
I
say
hear a lot of people say. A lot of
Yeah.
I don't want to use the word film snob because I hate that, but like lovers of movies, as in people that love movies, not people who are romantic sexual lovers of movies, because you can't be a lover with a film.
Well,
You can try.
you probably
you
could.
can try. You can try. always I constantly hear that is that Tangled is better than Frozen, but you know, they don't want to like get into the whole popularity of Frozen versus Tangled. I don't know why Tangled wasn't as popular as
Well, they
as
went
Because
away
no one
from
would believe in it at that point. Like they
Sure.
came back. They had so many bad movies from the early 2000s to like 2010 ish. They had Princess and the Frog, which was fantastic, and I love that they went back to the old style and stuff. But it didn't quite have that
Hit.
magic, and it didn't have the pull. Like I think a big problem with it was the music. It didn't have any really like classic song to it. And then when Tangled came out, people were kind of like, oh, they're going back to the CG stuff. They're not Pixar. I think that's the big problem, is everybody was like, all right, well, Pixar at this point have proven themselves time and time again. So when Tangled came out, it was kind of like, oh, Disney's trying to go back to the CG stuff. It's another Chicken Little. And it's just like, no, this is actually fantastic. But I don't think enough people gave it a shot. But then when Frozen came out, it had that hit. And now I think it's easier for people to be like, all right, I'll give Tangled another shot.
I like Tangled. I like the short. Have you guys seen the short for Tangled where it's Flynn and Rapunzel's wedding?
Tangled Forever
No, I
After
haven't
or
seen
whatever.
that.
Yes.
Tangled Ever After.
It's very cute. You've seen it, Tim.
Yeah.
What's the wedding like?
You know, chaos.
Okay,
But
like
it's
that.
great.
That's nice.
It's great. It's really cute.
Also, though, shout out to Entangled when Rapunzel's hair like goes away and turns into this little tiny brunette, and I'm like, fuck yeah, this is
super cute little
fantastic.
pixie cut. All about it. All about it.
Flynn Rider is my favorite Disney character, I think probably ever. I think I might be in love with him. I'm just gonna make that confession right now. So yeah. Although I do like Gaston just as a comical sense, and I enjoy the people that are him in Florida. The guy that does Flynn in Disneyland's actually pretty good. I need to probably get a picture with that guy.
Yeah, no, Flynn's great.
Should.
Whenever I see cosplays of Flynn, like you can really nail that. And I think that a lot of the princes aren't so fun to dress up as. Trust me, this is something I think about often. And Flynn's the one where I'm like that. He has a cool look to him. So, you know, I could never pull the Aladdin. That's not going to work for me.
He's got the smolder, which he tries to work, which I love. And she's like, I don't understand this because I don't know people.
She's not having it.
And it's great.
You know, one piece of trivia I read that I thought that was like super interesting. The character design for Flynn came from what was called the Hot Man meeting.
Yes.
So they set up a meeting with all the females in the studio, female employees of the studio in that office, and asked them what their opinions of what made a man like good looking to create his features and everything, the eye color, hair color, style. And then they showed concept art and photos of various male celebrities, including Johnny Depp, Hugh Jackman, Brad Pitt, David Beckham, and Gene Kelly on the walls of the room. So that would be a fun.
He's an amalgamation of all those people.
Right. That'd be a fun thing to do at work. Like, what if that was your job? Like, if your boss called you into your office and you're like, now, Stacy, we have a very important task for you. We want to know what turns you on. Who's the hottest guy that you know? And why is he hot? And then you can just talk about hot men all day. That'd be great. I would love to, you know, sexually objectify men for an afternoon.
Because it's part of your job.
Because it's part of my job. And it's an important process. It's for the creativity of our children. It's children of the future, you guys. And yeah.
I feel like it would be really inappropriate if it was men in a room doing the same thing.
Oh yeah, it absolutely would
be. No, that's not a good idea at all. I would not want to see what that character ends up looking like. It'd be Jessica Rabbit. Jessica Rabbit would be the result of this.
This is true.
This movie was made for $260 million, which is insane to me. It made 591 at the box office. And I'm like, did that even make a dent? Because you have to at least do double.
Yeah. You have to do it because for the budget, and then if you add another 100 million for marketing,
right?
So then it probably only made like what 100 million, which is not covering the cost of like anything else.
The thing there though is like, especially with Disney, is like their properties are so much bigger than the movies. Like when it comes to the soundtracks and Disneyland and toys and syndication and all this stuff, like Tangled is getting a TV show, so like that type of stuff must be Tangled must be successful. Simply based on how much attention they give it at Disneyland. Like almost all of their shows feature See the Light. the song.
Yes, because
Mhm.
that's the best song.
Fantastic.
Okay, I've got like 3 songs that I think are the best Disney songs,
Mhm.
and that it goes back and forth between that and Reflection for me from Mulan.
Reflection
Okay.
is a lovely, lovely song. Got that Christina Aguilera cover of it. Remember when she was so big back in like
Yeah,
early 2000s? She
Mhm.
did. I remember her doing a song, and
98.
I would belt this song in my room. Like I had the
I
soundtrack,
believe it.
and I would like hold like
Just
a
look in the mirror.
shampoo as a microphone and just like
Yes.
sing my heart out to this song.
And
to
then the other
Reflection.
one that I have on that list is Eye to Eye from A Goofy Movie, which is underrated. Totally underrated.
Goofy movie, that could be a whole show of its own.
You don't like Stand Out?
Standout's
Stand
great,
out
but Eye
above
to
the
Eye is
crowd.
better.
I don't
Yeah.
remember Eye to Eye.
If
Eye
we
to Eye is like the
listen
real
to
Michael
each
Jackson one.
other's heart. Yeah.
Oh,
Like, it
okay.
really sounds like a Michael Jackson song.
We'll
I love it.
find we're never too far apart, and maybe love is the reason why. You know this song.
Oh,
I'm with you.
I
It
guess
is better.
Kind of. I guess kind of.
I would play that at my wedding. I already got married, but
It's your
if I
second
could go
wedding.
back.
It's your
There's always a
second
second chance.
Wait a minute, guys.
When me and Kevin get married, you guys.
When you and Kevin get married.
Just kidding.
For the
kind
audience
of.
that doesn't know, Kevin was on with us before Tim got on the phone because he was doing some troubleshooting. So
Yeah.
that is why we were talking about Kevin.
And we met, and we are now lovers. So
Mhm.
Mhm. That's
mhm.
what happens with Kevin.
cyber
Once-
lovers.
Once you see Kevin, you can't think of anything but hot love.
I can't. Hot man meeting.
So I am a little upset that that song, "See the Light," did not win the Oscar. It
What
was
won?
Toy Story 3, "We Belong Together,"
Oh.
and I'm like,
Whoa.
I can't even
Wait,
think about
what?
that song. Yeah,
We Belong Together by Mariah Carey?
no.
no,
Because the
whoever.
idea of that
would
song in
know.
Toy Story 3 is kind of the best.
Who am I gonna lean on when times get rough? Who's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
take a place? Oh, that'd be great.
I love it.
Mr. Potato Head singing it. That'd be
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Mr.
Peep,
Potato
alright.
Head. Okay, what's your favorite Toy Story attraction at Disneyland? I like the one where you play the game in
Toy Story Mania.
Yeah, Toy Story Mania.
Yeah. I mean,
That's a
Toy Story
ride where you
Mania
get
is like,
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
like-
no.
people are all talking
Well,
about
It's like a
VR.
slingshot.
I like the
Yeah, it's a
I like the
slingshot
ride.
thing. The Buzz Lightyear one. I mean, it was cool back in the day, but like
Mhm.
Yeah.
Toy Story Mania that's a must.
I haven't
The
No
played
Buzz
fast
that.
pass
Lightyear
thing, they're gonna
one
work on that.
scares my they need a fast pass. The Buzz Lightyear one scares my kids because it's all Zurg. And that's kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
frightening to
Mhm.
children.
Mhm.
So it took a while for me to be like, let's go on this other one that's pretty cool. And they're like, no, it's gonna be like Zurg. And I'm like, no,
Yeah,
it's not.
No, it's not. Disneyland has a lot of really, really, really scary stuff if you are a little kid or if you're me. But
Mhm.
They used to have it where if you went up to Jesse and Woody at Disneyland and you said, Andy's coming, they would like fall on the
Drop.
ground, but they don't do that anymore. Now
Oh.
someone just says
Safety.
he's at college. So nope, he's not coming, he's at college. Sorry.
you liars.
I would still do it though. Or if I was just at Disneyland myself, I would yell it and then make my friends do it.
Yeah, I was just gonna go on another tangent because
We don't have time. We don't have
We don't
time.
have
There's
time,
been
but
too
okay.
many.
So the line that says frying pans, who knew, was actually from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I
So
did
there you
not
go.
know
There's a
that.
little connection to one of your other favorite films.
I do love Raiders of the
Indiana
Lost
Jones
Ark.
is great.
Indiana Jones is the best. We need to have a marathon soon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to link to the next film.
Okay,
how to
well,
segue into that.
let's go ahead and just close it up on Tangled. Thanks
Okay.
for talking Tangled with us. And now we're going to
Thanks,
go
guys.
ahead and open it up to Wreck-It Ralph, another character that's in isolation. There's a few here. Vanellope's in isolation, as well as Ralph, because he like goes to his little like brick
Isolation, is that
area.
where we're going with this?
Isolation.
Frozen, it's a
Sweet
Frozen
puns.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
So this kid, and I finally saw this film because we've talked about it briefly on this show. This came out in
Mhm.
2012, and I hadn't seen it, and now I have seen it. So now I can speak about it. Very exciting.
What'd you think?
I liked it. It's not my favorite Disney film, but I like that it incorporates video games. And I guess they did have Fix It Felix Jr. at Disneyland
Mhm,
at the Star Arcade, right by
The
right
Tron
by
stuff.
other things in Tomorrowland, and I can't even think right now. But then they got rid of it, so I'm kind of bummed about that because that would have been a fun game to play.
Yeah.
Why get rid of that?
I don't know.
They're like, we're making room for Star Wars. We gotta
Yeah.
get rid of things.
Yep.
Everything's Star Wars. I love how
Everything must
Tomorrowland's
go.
taking
Star
Wars
Wars, nothing but Star Wars.
Right.
We have sang so much on the show.
We sing
today.
every time.
We sing every time, but we sing a lot today because it's Disney. You know,
It's Disney.
it's
Brings it out.
Disney.
Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph, I'm a little lukewarm on. It's a good movie. I don't think it's bad by any stretch of the imagination, but I also don't think it's great or amazing. I think it actually set Disney kind of like off course for a little bit. But the story's there. The video game stuff I think was handled fairly well. I think it could have been a little bit better. Like I like that they actually used real characters and it wasn't, made up fake ones. That were supposed to be like Sonic. It was actually Sonic. But it felt like because of all the licensing and stuff, they weren't allowed the freedom to really just do the story they would want to do. And I feel like a lot of the real like poignant moments were a little phoned in. It just didn't have it didn't feel like a Disney movie to me. Like it felt like a DreamWorks
Universal dream. Yeah. DreamWorks.
Yeah.
I get that too. It's definitely different, more male. A lot of Disney films are female centric, and this is more male centric, but not that I mind either way.
I loved Sarah Silverman's character and how she was felt like she was a glitch. And in life we can all feel like glitches.
Yes,
we can have glitches in our in our lives or anything like that, and you just have to kind of find what works for you.
I had that
liked the
happen this
lesson.
past week. What do you know?
What?
Where it was like, I don't feel like I have my place so I go to this group. It's called MOPS, and I've been going for 5 years. It's Moms of Preschoolers, for those that don't know. It's like a support group. So it's not really a support group, but anyways, so I've been going for 5 years, and I was just like, I don't feel like I fit in anymore. Like I feel like I'm not supposed to be here, and I don't look forward to going anymore. And then I was like, so why am I here? For the first time in my life, I actually like quit something, and which was weird. So I felt like there's my glitch. Like, oh, I need to move on.
Yeah. But you fixed it.
I fixed it.
You fixed your glitch. You fixed yourself.
Yes.
And you just moved on to what you really need to do and really need to
which is
focus
3
on.
shows, which I don't know why I'm doing 3 shows.
I don't
but
know
I
either.
Am.
But thanks for doing one of them with me.
Yeah.
That's
yay.
Fun. Yay, friends, friendship. I love you almost as much as I love Kevin.
Everyone needs a Kevin.
Everyone needs a Kevin. I liked that there was little donut-shaped policemen in the
yes.
in the show.
I like the Oreo. Oreo.
And
That
then
was
one of
cute.
them was named Winchell and Duncan. So like Dunkin' Donuts and Winchell's
Nice.
Donut House, which are
Which one's
famous.
better?
Duncan.
I've never
No,
had
the
Dunkin'.
best is Shipley's.
I don't
Because
know Shipley's.
well, Shipley's is more of I'm from
Jack
the South. I'm from
Shipley's?
Texas. No, not quite Jack Shipley. Hey,
Okay.
Jack Shipley, watcher of the show, love you. But yeah, Shipley's is the best. It's from, it's all over America, but it's mainly like a Southern thing. So it's, it's just air. It's just air. It's gooey air fluffiness, and it's so much better than Dunkin' Donuts and better than Krispy Kreme too. I'm here to say.
Okay. Tim, any thoughts on donuts?
Krispy Kreme, above all else.
Krispy
dude,
Kreme
it's
is like a dessert donut, whereas like
Oh, yeah.
Winchell's is like a breakfast donut. So
Yeah,
I
breakfast
hold
donuts don't have any place. They need to
I hold
stop.
them both in high
What
regard
bagels are for.
That's
for
true.
breakfast. For
Yeah.
breakfast goodness.
Bagels are meant to be salty. Donuts are meant to be sweet.
Yes. Facts
I'm
on
laying the
facts.
law
Why
down.
can't we have both?
Because
that's
you
why
have
I
to
get
separate, okay?
croissants.
Separate but equal.
Wow.
God.
Gosh, so many. Now I'm hungry, which I
Oh.
didn't eat. So maybe I should have.
Well, I brought cupcakes, everyone.
I
don't know why. This is real. This is a real thing.
This is real. I love how many are missing.
I only ate 4. Life's like a box
Mhm.
of cupcakes.
I did want to see. Okay, Randall Sands said in the chat, my only problem with Ralph is they didn't include more games or household games. They needed the Nintendo rights to make it better, which is what you were talking about, Tim, and it's totally
Yeah.
true. I personally am like a Nintendo fangirl in a way. Like I don't play Nintendo anymore, but I'm totally gonna get that mini NES. I play it with my
NES
kids.
Classic. Yeah, that's
Guys,
great.
I play Nintendo with my children on the weekends, and it's a horrific sight. We definitely need a Twitch channel that people can watch what madness looks like, because it's total, complete madness.
That would
I'm
be fun.
trying. I'm trying to help them, to usher them into the gaming world, but it's going
You're
poorly.
succeeding. You're succeeding. You're doing fine.
I'm trying to usher my daughter into the movie world. We went to see Storks, and we had seen Kubo and the Two Strings, and I was like,
Mhm.
what did you like better, Storks or Kubo and the Two Strings? And she said Storks, and I was like, no, that's not the right
no.
answer. Like, I'm sorry.
No, you
Yeah.
can't drag them. You need to let them learn
I didn't say anything.
through their
I
own
didn't say
mistakes.
anything.
How
Yeah.
old is she?
She's gonna be 6 in December.
Yeah,
so
let
she's
her make her
five.
mistakes. She'll find
will.
her way.
She will.
You know, you just gotta wade through it all. You gotta get through Fast 1 and 2 to get to 3 and 5.
Mhm.
That's right.
Tokyo
Or you have to
Drift is
jump
the best.
around and see 1, 2.
Don't do that.
And then
No.
go and see 4, and then
Nope.
see.
You can
Nope.
skip
7.
in
There's
The-
rules. You're breaking them.
in the,
I did
the
break 'em.
plot order in the chronological
No,
order.
not do that. Do not do that. That
You
is
don't want-
dumb.
You don't
have
want
to
to
That
see.
made no sense.
Oh, I love it. But
And
then we
how
wouldn't
they
have
got it
Han.
working out.
The
Then we wouldn't
reason
have
it made
Han.
sense is because they needed Han.
Yeah,
They had to keep Han longer.
yeah.
That's why it
The
made
whole
sense.
franchise is about whatever. Okay.
I love Han.
Yes,
So, anyways.
as you should.
Let's not go off on a tangent about Fast and Furious
Once
again,
again.
people. We got to stay on
right.
schedule. It
Staying
happens
on
every
focused.
time. Okay. All right. Okay.
Let's move on to our next links. So,
Okay.
Tim, you can either have Stacy and I go first and we'll link off of Tangled with our link, or you can go first and link off of Wreck-It Ralph.
I'm gonna link off of Wreck-It Ralph
All right.
Okay.
with Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yes.
Another movie
Oh.
that features a lot of video game, kind of crossover. A
Mhm.
little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I
Fantastic.
love
movie.
Scott Pilgrim
Fantastic
versus the
comic.
World.
Did you guys read the comic at all?
You know what?
No.
Fun story. The comic was in my classroom, or at least like the book of Scott Pilgrim was in my classroom in 4th grade. There were a few of them. They just came with my classroom. And so what's hilarious is
Some fun classroom.
some kid comes up to me and is like, I don't think this is supposed to be in our like library. And I was like, why? And he showed me this page and it was totally vulgar. And I was like, I'm
Yeah.
taking all of the Scott Pilgrim books out of here and I will take them home.
Yeah, no, it's a little grown up, not too grown up, but it definitely has very grown up themes. But the thing that I appreciate most is that the graphic novels are so good, but the movie is just as good in a different way. It
Mhm.
keeps the tone of the books, and it nails a lot of the important parts. But it's a really good adaptation where it didn't kind of dumb things down. It just took it in a different direction that works better in the medium of movies, and that's not always the case. So they did a great job. Brian Lee O'Malley. Fantastic dude. Edgar Wright, obviously, his direction
Amazing.
is so fantastic, and I can't imagine anybody doing that movie the justice that he did.
Edgar Wright needs to do more movies.
Oh,
He does.
yes.
He's a favorite of mine.
Edgar Wright is one of my favorite directors because whenever you watch his films, you can tell how much he loves movies and he
Mhm.
puts all of that into his films. And there's so many little details that are just for him or just for the fans, just for people that truly love cinema will notice. And it's not for anyone else. It's only just because he wants to do it and he puts in all that effort and all that love and care. And it really pays off. And it doesn't pay off in dollars because, his films aren't these huge box office successes, but it pays off in that they've kind of had this beautiful cult following to them and
Yes.
everything it's just so
Yeah.
well preserved and well taken care of. Like you can see the care in his movies.
Well, he kind
I
of
think you should write
designs,
him.
like he directs his movies kind of like they're giant music videos, and I
Right.
think that what you're talking about, how about doing it for the fans, it's like he's directing the movie as if it's a music video that's going to later have a pop-up video
Mm-hmm.
on VH1. So it's like he puts all these like little like tidbits and facts and like little
Yeah.
like things. Did you notice this? Like Easter eggs, like and references and all this stuff. They're everywhere, and I think that's my favorite type of a film or media in general. So it's very very layered with a lot of things that aren't necessary but appreciated.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Now you still haven't seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Well, no, I have in a sense that I've
It's
seen a lot
okay
of the
to
different
say you
scenes.
haven't.
No, I've seen a lot of the scenes. I haven't sat down to watch it start to
Right.
finish like all in one take. But I've
Yes.
seen the whole
Yeah.
movie just in parts
Okay.
of it, where I'll catch the beginning,
Mhm.
I'll watch the middle in some other form, like I
Yes.
bought it and then I watched it, and then I've seen.
Have you
the end.
watched the part with my boyfriend, Chris
Yes,
Evans?
yes, of course,
Okay.
with
So
the
good with the
sideburns and
Universal
all.
theme.
Yes,
Yes.
So good.
fantasticness.
But the movie, my biggest problem with the movie is since it is a 2-hour long feature film, it didn't have as much time. Like that was a perfect movie that would have benefited from a part 1 and part 2, because they focused. There was the 7 evil X's, and they focused so much on number 1 and 2, and then 7. But all the other ones in between were like almost throwaway. It was
Montage.
like, yeah, it was montagey, and it was just like I feel like that. I mean, obviously the graphic novels had 6 volumes to kind of go into all the details and stuff, and they really fleshed out each storyline and all that. But that's the only real fault I have with the movie. Like I can still watch it this day, and it's just like it's like a audio visual overload, and
Right.
it's great.
I think if they were to do that, that would be taking a really big chance on like a movie that they weren't sure would perform.
Absolutely, yeah, and
Yeah.
It performed well. That's the thing. I mean, that might be one of Edgar Wright's highest grossing movies, if I'm
Could be.
correct about
Hashtag fake facts.
Hashtag
We
fake
just
facts.
make
Yeah.
up things here, and
No, I mean, because I was reading about my friend is now dating Brian Lee O'Malley, who's the writer of Scott Pilgrim. So like I was hanging out with him one time, and like he's well off, and I was like, huh. So I want to look into it because like I was like, how did that happen?
Mhm.
But I mean, obviously it's a combination between the graphic novels and merchandising and all that as well. But the movie did well. When I looked it up on Wikipedia, I was like surprised at how well it did.
Mhm. Nice.
Nice.
What is
You
the
can't
other
bet on it.
film
That makes sense.
Mhm.
that you have brought for us?
Yeah. What's your second movie, Tim?
Oh, second movie.
Yeah.
Can we go with Super Mario Brothers the movie?
Oh,
Yes,
please.
please.
Animated movie?
Cool
Please.
guys.
Yeah.
I again need to bring up. Oh wait, hold on.
Oh man.
I just want to show
I've-
everyone.
Okay, while you're pulling that up, my kids have been watching the Super Mario Brothers
Wow,
television show on Netflix.
Oh man, which
it's-
one?
The
you know?
one with the 2 guys. It used to have Zelda. Okay, I used to watch it in elementary
Show.
school. Yeah, the Super Show.
The one with the live action people.
Yes,
Yeah, Super Show.
correct.
Cool.
We were watching that. The problem is they don't have the Zelda episodes. And I'm like, so they show the preview for the Zelda episode, but you cannot get the Zelda episode on it. And I'm like, what? That's the best part. I remember like waiting for Zelda on Fridays when I was in like 1st or 2nd grade and like thinking about that.
Yeah, it's a
Like-
weird cartoon. So there was the Super Show, and then later there was 2 separate additional seasons that were just the
Mhm.
animated parts, and they were like weird semi-musicals. There was
Huh.
The Adventures of Super Mario Brothers 3, and then The Adventures of Super Mario World.
Huh.
And it made no
Interesting.
sense. But I remember waking up at like 7 a.m. to watch them and thinking they were the coolest things ever. But it was like weirdly racist, and there was a lot of weird things going on. But it was the early 90s.
Yeah. I remember, watching the Super Mario Brothers Super Show in elementary school. I went to a friend's house, and while we were watching the show was when the San Francisco earthquake hit. So there you go. Good tie-in.
Whoa.
I lived in San Jose, so that's why.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You're like,
I
what?
lived in San Francisco, and I
You
was
were-
like 3 months old.
Much of a child then. Yep.
It rocked.
That's what I know of Super Mario Brothers. This movie, I know that Face Off used the design of their shoes in a prison
Yes.
based off of Super Mario Brothers.
Mm.
And I thought, that's why it's so weird and sci-fi in that one. Well, I mean, Face Off itself is sci-fi, but it's really sci-fi in that one part.
It's
Yes.
super super random and strange.
Really weird. Those shoes made no sense. It's like
It
Mario
made
jumps
no
high. Let's give him jump shoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's John Leguizamo in this, right?
John
John
Leguizamo.
Leguizamo, though.
Love
He
him.
is talking out of the side of his mouth the whole time in this movie, just going a mile a minute. Him
He's the main
and
character.
he is the main
Luigi's
character.
the main character.
Yeah, yeah. Him and
Well,
I'm so sorry.
in
what's
Super
the name
Mario
of the
Brothers
actor?
2, the game, Luigi is my main character because I love the way that he kicks.
It's all about my girl Peach.
Okay.
Peach is
Float.
pretty great because then you can like glide really well on those jumps. That's really helpful. Yeah.
That's
There's
fun.
certain like you have a strategy of which character you're going to pick because like in World 2, you got to go with, the little mushroom guy because he can dig really well and you need digging
He's a
skills.
good digger.
Okay.
Anyway.
Now John Leguizamo said him, and I don't know the name of the other brother. I'm sorry, I forgot
Bob
the
Hoskins.
Rob Hoskins. Thank
Oh,
you.
hey.
We're
Who Framed
drunk.
Roger Rabbit?
Yeah, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. We're drunk the whole time that they did this movie,
No kidding.
and they said that it was like a a couple, like a husband and wife pairing that were the directors, and they were awful, and the whole experience was terrible, and no one knew what the fuck was happening, and it was super, super crazy. And it is culminated in this wonderful movie that I secretly love because Goombas are super cute. Their faces are so happy and adorable, and they're swaying in the elevator. And I was a young little tyke when this movie came out.
You guys
and
are the
I
same
just
age,
remember
so.
that. Oh, are you 26, Tim?
Mm-hmm.
Just
Nope.
like me?
Nope, I'm 27.
You're 27? Oh, whoa. Old. Gross.
I am your senior, your elder. Respect me.
Okay, I shall. But that's the only scene I remember from when I was a little kid. And then I watched it later and I was like, this movie's terrible. Why did I love it for so many years?
Right.
But they were super cute and they were dancing and, there was like mushrooms and rocks and someone yelling with like a dinosaur head and super randomness. I was really freaked out by this movie.
She's nailing it.
Yeah. That's all you need to know.
You've got
about
the tone.
I got the tone.
There it is.
The tone right.
We gotta, based on time, we gotta move this on.
Ah, shit. Okay.
So we're gonna go off of Tangled, and our link is going to be bar scenes.
Yes.
Our favorite bar scenes, because there's a
Awesome
good bar scene in Tangled. Now I want to give a shout out before I get to the one I'm doing. Shout out to Top Secret, who has an underwater bar scene, as well as Tombstone. Tombstone always needs to come up because we know I love that film. And where Johnny Ringo and Doc Holliday are talking in, I think, Latin, and they're saying some things to each other they don't want anyone else to know. Anyways, the one I chose, though, is Kingsman, The Secret Service, which came out February 13th, 2014. So the scene I'm talking about is when Colin Firth and Taron Egerton are in the pub, and then the gentlemen come in. And you can always, if you haven't seen the movie, you can YouTube it. I don't want to talk too much about the entire film because there are some reveals that I know that I could not talk about, and then we'd all be in trouble because it's such a great film and you need to see it.
Don't spoil it.
So anyways, Colin Firth just shows everyone who's boss in this bar, and it is incredible. And yeah, you can just see that particular scene on YouTube if you search for it.
It's super great.
I should have watched the whole film again. But I can't get over Samuel L. Jackson's lisp. So I'm just like, I don't know if I can do it again.
It's so funny because obviously, the film is an homage to all the great, Bond films and spy films. And for all the Bond films, every Bond villain has some kind of, disfigurement or, odd eccentricity about him. And so Samuel L. Jackson was like, I'm going to have a lisp, and didn't tell Matthew Vaughn. And then did one take, and Matthew Vaughn was like, why did you do a lisp? And he's like, well, it's like a Bond villain. You got to have something wrong with him, And also he said he had a lisp earlier that he had gotten rid of. So
he's going back to his roots.
So he's going back to his roots. Yeah, exactly.
And I like that they use Mark Hamill in this because they use him in the comic book.
Yeah.
So who knew? Who knew? I found that out just reading this.
He's like the first celebrity they kidnapped, right?
Right.
That's fun.
So hey, perfect. Mark Hamill. And Nathan Hamill. Hey, Nathan. Anyways, what is yours, Stacey?
Mine is Inglourious Bastards. Which of course is Tarantino's film from 2009. There's also another film called The Inglourious Bastards from like the 70s.
The same. Yes.
Not the same thing. This one is from
glorious.
Not as glorious. This one's from 2009. The Nazi occupied France during World War II. A plan to assassinate Nazi leaders by a group of Jewish U.S. soldiers coincides with the theater owner's vengeful plans for the same thing. So basically, this is like a fantasy. Historical fantasy, like what Tarantino wish would have happened.
Yes, it would have been great if that had happened.
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
I just watched it the other day to rewatch it because I watched this scene because I knew you were selecting this. So I watched the bar scene and I was like, man, I got to watch this again. So I watched it again.
It's great. And
so good.
Almost, what was it like? I think it's 80%, no, not 80%, but 70%, a large percentage of the film is spoken in another language. It's not English.
Yeah, it's like 30% is English.
Yeah, only 30%. Yeah.
I was watching this and my husband was like, I didn't realize how much this movie, was not in English. And I was like, only 30% is in English. And he's like, wow, that's a pretty specific number. I was like, that's because I just researched it.
IMDb trivia, best thing on my IMDb app on my phone. Thank you.
And I noticed, I was like, oh, Michael Fassbender is in this scene. I had no idea because when I first saw him, like I didn't know him when I first saw this movie, and then you go back and you're like, oh my gosh, that's him.
Yeah. That's Magneto, guys. Come on. You know what's funny though? Because in this movie, he plays an Englishman who is speaking German. He can't get rid of his accent. But in real life, Fassbender, German is his first language, and he was raised in Ireland, and now he obviously has to put on an English accent to play this character. So that was kind of ironic. I thought that was super interesting. But the scene is great because there's so much tension and built up, and you're like, what is going to happen? There's no way all these people are going to make it out alive, and it's crazy. I mean, the climax of this scene is absolutely incredible. I love that it's so drawn out, and it's so just like you're on pins and needles on the edge of your seat the whole time. Like, when is it gonna, like, when's all the shit gonna go down?
When's the shoe gonna drop?
When's the shoe gonna
drop? Which
is
kind of a pun. And
there we go.
I'm sad that I made it.
You guys know that scene.
So anyways.
Perfection. And then, Tarantino, whenever he was considering Diane Kruger, he was like, I don't know if she can do a good German accent and speak German, because he thought she was American. From all the roles she's done, she's mainly played an American. And so little did he know, she is a native German and speaks German obviously fluently, or she's from somewhere near Germany, something like that. But that's her home country and her home language. So she was like, nah, you idiot. I know what I'm doing.
I love it.
There you go.
All right. So we went from Frozen as our feature film, and from there we linked it to Disney movies where a character is in isolation, and we mainly did animated films with that, or we only did animated films with that, and we did Tangled as well as Wreck-It Ralph. From Wreck-It Ralph, Tim went to video game movies or video game inspired movies with Scott Pilgrim versus the World, as well as Super Mario Brothers. Off of Tangled, we went to bar scenes in film, and I talked about Kingsman: The Secret Service, and Stacy talked about Inglourious Bastards. So there are your films.
Fantastic.
We are now going to do movie link tweets. Each week I tweet out the first link and see what you guys have to say about it. So the link is, what is your favorite Disney film where a character is in isolation? I want to thank Ben Bellevue for setting this all up for me, because he takes care of that now. He's kind of like our unofficial intern, or maybe he's our official intern. Anyways, I don't know.
Love him like you love Kevin.
There you go.
I can never love anyone as much as I love Kevin.
So Ben says Mulan. Joey Noel, Travis Wadowski, and Amy Gilroy say Beauty and the Beast. Eric Monroe says Lion King. Renee, and I don't know how to say your last name, and I apologize, says Tangled. Randall Sands says Lilo and Stitch. Stephen Malofsky says The Black Cauldron. Ricky Vargas says Emperor's New Groove. And Dr. Zoidberg says Wall-E. Yeah. Love that Emperor's New Groove.
Totally love it, Kronk.
And we link it to Kevin Bacon.
Okay, so Kevin Bacon was in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with Eddie McClurg, who was in Frozen as Gerda.
Eddie McClurg, that woman is incredible. She has like over 200 credits to her name. She's been in a ton of stuff, like as a voiceover and as an actress just on screen as well.
Gerda in Frozen. Was Gerda the like troll leader? Rock troll leader?
Could have been, or like a servant.
Maybe
one of the two.
She's just a voiceover queen. She's the old school, the oldie.
Okay. The troll guy.
Okay. Sounds good. And now we've come to the final segment of the show, where I sit back and watch as Stacy does an impression of Rocky. This is called Better with Rocky. We want to know, would Frozen be better with Sylvester Stallone as Rocky, as Olaf in Frozen? And so Tim is going to be playing Princess Anna. Thank you, Tim. And
so here's the thing.
Yes.
I only have one impression. No matter what I try to do, it always comes out. Any accent I do, it ends up being Arnold. So this is going to be a conversation between Arnold
That's perfect.
and Rocky.
This is going to be amazing. Thank
now,
you
for
very
those
much.
of you that don't know where this came from, just know that we did an episode where we covered Rocky. I discovered that I do a horrible impression of Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah,
delightfully horrible impression. So this is now a tradition on our show that we'll pick a monologue or whatever dialogue from the film, and I do it in my Rocky voice. So now it's gonna be Rocky and Arnold are Anna and Olaf. So Tim, if you want to start us off, 3, 2, 1, go.
Zhao, I never knew winter could be so beautiful.
Yeah, it was really beautiful, isn't it? But it's so white, How about a little color? I'm thinking maybe some crimson, chartreuse. How about yellow? No, not yellow. Yellow and snow? Oh no, go. Am I right, yo?
That was great.
That is
I wasn't
horrible.
I wasn't
That is
so bad.
horrible.
I wasn't expecting
told you.
Arnold to be
And I
here as
love it.
well. So that's
Man.
exciting. Tim,
Sounds
thank you
good.
so much for being on
Oh,
our
thank
little
you.
show.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Where can the good people find you?
You can find me on the internet at Tim Gettys, pretty much anywhere. Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. I don't know,
YouTube.
other places.
Sounds
Oh
good.
yeah, YouTube.
Sounds
YouTube's
good.
probably the main place. Kindafunny.com.
Very good.
Perfect.
Stacy, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter at SOHoward2012. Live tweeting movies all day, talking about The Mummy. Pretty much, yeah.
All day.
All day.
Nice.
All day. I don't have a job. I do. I have a full-time job. But I do as much as I can. Where can we
Nice.
find you?
You can find me looking up tutorials on how to do the slick back hair look. So that way I'm ready for when we're on the Schmodown.
Whoa, get
We're going to
ready,
be doing some
everyone.
cosplay. I don't want to spoil it because I don't want people to know what we're going to be doing, but it's a movie
Nope.
from 1999 that you might know. Anyway,
The
slick back
best
hair.
year in
So I've
film.
been looking that up. You
Mhm.
can also find me on Twitter at Miss Movies. All
There
day,
you
every
go.
day. I'm there.
Yay. Oh my
It's
gosh, what
crazy.
a fun show. This has been
Yeah,
great.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This has been fantastic.
Thank you for being
coming.
on the show. And next time it'll be Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Say hi to my
Oh,
lover, Kevin.
Yes.
After
That'll
we
be
get
great.
back from our honeymoon,
Mhm.
we'll, resume the show.
Yep.
As I plan our children's preschool preparation tests and everything.
You can talk about the movies you make on your honeymoon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
There we go.
We'll set up a nice little camera. Mm-hmm.
Thank you all for listening. We will see you next time. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.